Joe, can you tell us a little bit about what you learned about the squad in November?
I learned a little bit about how to structure an international window. It was all new to me. I learned a lot about some of the players I didn't know so well, particularly the players from provinces other than the Leinster players that I had a fair bit to do with. I think we'd all acknowledge that there's a need for a real depth, and that was probably not a learning so much as something I believed beforehand that was reinforced, because we used 29 players in total, but we've already got a few injuries leading into the Six Nations, and I think the impact of guys coming off the bench, it's very much a 23-man game, and that was made really clear both in the Australian and the in all three tests. Samoa, we got some guys off the bench who had a really positive impact. The Australians and the New Zealanders did the same. So it's going to be really important that we try to grow our depth, and having both the Wolfhounds and Irish squad kind of combined together will be a good little window this week.
There's a couple of faces missing from the squad as well. Obviously, Sean O'Brien is out with injury, but he has signed a new contract, which is good news. And Tommy Bowe, can you tell us a little bit about that? Are you hoping to have him back at some stage?
Yeah, Tommy is he's making progress, so we'd be hopeful still that there's no point in having Tommy training when he's unable to train fully. So he's still rehabbing back in Ulster, but there's still the potential for him to be back before the probably the Wales game, but more likely the English game. That way he could get maybe a couple of games for Ulster leading into that. It's great that Sean's re-signed, and I thought the RFU handled it really well, and Leinster, that's where he wanted to stay, and it's great that that's where he's ended up. And I think for the next 2 years at least he has a little bit of certainty about what he's going to be doing and where he's going to be based, and hopefully in the next 4 to 6 months that shoulder comes right, and he'll be back flying at people and flying through a few tackles.
You have a big squad coming in this week on the back of some great Heineken Cup performances in 3 provinces through to the quarterfinals. How important is that? Yeah,
I think there's a fairly good feel from the lads coming in. The draw being done, Leinster heading away to Toulon, and Munster are going to be hosting Toulouse, and at the same time it's a repeat of last year's quarter-final between Ulster and Saracens, but this time the home advantage is reversed, and so Ulster will be looking forward to that. But I think it's been a really successful 6 games by each of those teams, and it's the 3 big games now, hopefully, that they can get, or at least one of them can get, and even maybe 2 of them can get 3 more games. But it'll be very, very tough. I think all those matchups are very, very close, and I think there's been some really good performance from the Irish-based players, and some of the foreign players have been fairly exceptional as well.